You were not born to chase. You were born to call. And yet here you are, running, spinning, striving, exhausting your body in a world that told you sweat is the price of abundance. But what if that was the first lie? What if the very thing you've been told to do is the very thing that keeps you from receiving? Because hear this now, money does not wait for labor, it waits for command. And the moment you forgot that was the moment you became powerless. Not because your power left, but because you stopped using it. The world does not reward the loudest effort. It rewards the clearest energy. It responds not to noise, but to law. And law does not bend for struggle. It moves for certainty. So when your words became filled with effort, and your prayers were lined with begging, and your thoughts crawled through the mud of doubt, the law stood still. Not in punishment, but in precision. You see, the law can only respond to truth. And the truth is this: you were never meant to hustle for your worth. You were meant to speak it. You were meant to declare it. You were meant to summon wealth with the same breath that created stars. But they trained that out of you. They gave you a gospel of grind. They taught you to be realistic, to be humble, to wait your turn. And slowly, you forgot how to command. You forgot how to move mountains without moving your feet. You forgot how to receive without apology. And the voice you were born with, that sacred voice, was buried under noise. So now, you work, you overthink, you manifest with one hand and cancel it with the other. You say, I am ready, but you live like a beggar in the palace of your own soul. And all the while, the law watches. Not in judgment, but in order, in reflection, in response. Because the law doesn't hear what you hope, it hears what you know. And knowing has a tone, a vibration, a frequency that does not tremble. The reason your life has paused is not delay, it is dissonance. It is contradiction between what you say and what you feel. You whisper abundance, but cry over lack. You write affirmations, but speak limitation in traffic, in checkout lines, in the silence of your own mind. And then you wonder why it doesn't arrive. It is not because you are broken. It is not because God is testing you. It is not because you need more time. It is because you forgot the first law. Money is not a prize. It is a match to your word. Your word is the mold. Your faith is the fire. And what you declare becomes. But you've been declaring doubt. You've been carving scarcity into stone with every unconscious complaint. You speak of bills like they are bigger than heaven. You speak of prices like they are threats. You speak of your desires as if they're luxuries, not destinies. You say things like, I can't afford it. I don't know how. Maybe one day. And each phrase becomes a door that quietly closes in the realm of the unseen. This is not punishment. It is cause and effect. It is energetic law. It is divine architecture, responding to the blueprint of your vibration. And tonight, that blueprint changes. Tonight, the architect returns to the throne, and the throne is your voice. So speak now not from hope, but from divine right. Say, I do not wait for provision. Provision waits for my alignment. Say, I no longer worship the struggle. I command the ease. Say, I do not ask the world for what is mine. I speak it into presence. This is not motivation. This is not wishful thinking. This is how the real system works, the sacred system beneath the one that failed you. Because there is a realm where time bends for clarity, where doors swing for decision, where wealth pours not through muscle, but through mastery. And you are invited back in, not when you're good enough, not when you've suffered enough, but when you remember who you are. The lie was not that you're unworthy. The lie was that you had to prove yourself to be worthy, and that lie has broken now. So tonight, you no longer shrink. You no longer chase. You no longer wait to be chosen by a system built on forgetfulness. You choose yourself. You speak as the law. You remember the sound of divine certainty. No more apology in your tongue. No more hesitation in your tone. No more asking life to bless what you will not claim. You are not a seeker. You are a revealer. And what you reveal is what the universe must obey. So, take a breath. Not a deep one. A real one. The kind that aligns your spine with the sacred. The kind that reminds your cells they were never made for poverty. The kind that turns your chest into a temple and your words into prophecy. Then says slowly, boldly, as a decree, I release the belief that I must earn what already lives inside me. I command divine wealth now, not because I chase it, but because I remember I am it. I am the voice of the law, and the law moves when I speak. If you speak this in silence, the law will move loudly. Because your voice is not a beggar. It is the vault key. And tonight, it turns. You were told that you must become worthy before wealth can enter. You were told that something had to change before the blessing could come. Your mindset, your habits, your vibration, your effort. So you waited, you studied, you polished yourself, you delayed joy, and you called it preparation. But that was the second lie. The first was powerlessness. The second was postponement. You thought you were being spiritual. You thought you were aligning. You thought you were making yourself ready for the gates to open. But the gates do not open for the ready. They open for the remembered. And tonight, you remember. The law does not respond to delay. It does not move for hesitation. It does not bend for worthiness. Because worthiness is not earned. It is revealed. And what reveals it? Your word. Not your hard work. Not your struggle. Not your past. The reversal begins the moment you say, I am now. I am whole. I am allowed. I do not chase worthiness. I command it. And the world flips, because this is the first great reversal. Wealth does not come after worthiness. Wealth comes through worthiness. And worthiness is not something you wait to feel. It is something you decide to declare. You have been casting the wrong spell, not because you meant to, but because you didn't know your words had weight. You didn't know your doubt was creation. You didn't know your casual complaints were sacred commands. You said things like, I'll believe it when I see it. I just need a little more time. I know it's coming, but I'm not there yet. And the law obeyed. It said, as you speak, so it is. And so you waited, and called it divine timing. But it wasn't divine. It was delay by declaration. Because every time you say, not yet, you tell the universe to pause, and it listens. But you're not here to wait anymore. You are here to reverse. You are here to flip the flow, to break the pattern, to undo the voice of smallness that became your inner echo. So from this moment forward, you will not speak what you see. You will speak what is sacred. You will speak what is unseen. You will speak from the place of law, not the place of lack. When fear rises, you will speak power. When a bill comes, you will speak abundance. When doubt whispers, you will thunder truth. This is the reversal. This is the return. This is how the divine corrects the timeline. Say it now. I do not speak to report. I speak to reverse. My word is not a mirror. It is the mold. I do not speak from reality. I speak from the law that creates it. And the moment you speak like this, the moment you declare not what is, but what must become, you shift realms. You no longer walk as a seeker. You walk as the source. You no longer manifest by mood. You manifest by decree. This is the law of divine reversal. You speak the opposite of fear, until fear no longer speaks. you speak the opposite of limitation, until limitation no longer lives in your mouth. And when your mouth becomes pure, your life becomes fast. When your declarations are clean, the delivery becomes immediate. Because what you see now is not permanent. It is only the echo of old speech. And you are not that anymore. You are new. You are aligned. You are the law in motion. Say, I reverse the lie with every breath. I cancel delay with every word. I flip every fear into flame, and I speak only from the fire. No more waiting, no more testing, no more asking for signs from a universe that already said yes. The only sign you need is the one that leaves your lips, and if your word does not agree with your vision, your life will not either. So from this point forward, you will say nothing you do not want to solidify. You will no longer narrate lack. You will no longer confess confusion. You will no longer describe your delay as if it is divine, because there is no power in explaining pain, only in reversing it. And you reverse pain with presence, with speech, with decision. The law says, speak not from where you are. Speak from where truth lives. And truth does not shake. Truth does not flinch. Truth does not wait for evidence. Truth creates evidence. So speak this and let your bones believe it. I am no longer in rehearsal. I am in receipt. I am not almost ready. I am already royal. I do not wait to be chosen. I declare myself chosen now. Feel the reversal happen as you speak. Feel the law bend around your voice. Feel the timeline collapse in your favor. Feel the silence obey. Because when your speech reverses the lie, reality must reverse with it. This is your inheritance. This is your throne, not made of gold, but of vibration, of sound, of decree. And the world has no choice but to answer your tone. So do not waste another breath begging life to approve your becoming. Speak as the one who was never unworthy. Speak as the one who does not wait to deserve. Speak as the one whose mouth opens gates. You are not here to match what you see. You are here to flip it, to reverse it, to transmute the visible with the sound of the invisible. Every fear has an opposite word, and now you speak it. Without hesitation, without apology. You've reversed the lie, but now you must learn what to replace it with the truth that obeys only the law. Every thought you think is a spell you cast. And some of the loudest spells are whispered in your mind when no one else is listening. They sound casual. They sound harmless. But they are not. Because in the world of divine law, there is no such thing as a neutral thought. Every thought is a seed. And every seed is a command. When you think, I can't afford that, you are not commenting, you are creating. When you think, this is probably too late, you are not analyzing, you are instructing. When you think, it's just not happening for me, you are not venting, you are planting. And the law does not sort truth from fear. It does not pause to ask if you meant it. It does not filter for optimism or pity. It only receives what you give, and what you give becomes. This is why your thoughts must be guarded like gold. They are not suggestions, they are blueprints. They are vibrations that summon form. They are the architects of delay or the engines of deliverance. And the moment you notice that is the moment you reclaim your dominion. You are not a thinker. You are a commander. And every sentence you repeat inside your mind becomes the pattern your life must obey. So now, the sacred training begins. You must catch every false command before it roots. You must cancel it, cut it off, and speak the divine replacement. Out loud, on purpose, like law. This is not denial. This is substitution. This is what separates the wandering from the wise. because a wandering mind allows fear to become fact. But a wise mind interrupts fear and replaces it with truth before it builds a throne. From this moment on, you do not allow fear to finish its sentence. You interrupt it. You override it. You break its rhythm and speak the opposite with sacred authority. When the thought says, "What if I fail?" you say, "I am divinely guided and success is inevitable." When the thought says, "There's not enough money this month," you say, "Supply is unlimited and I receive in full now." When the thought says, "I'm not ready," you say, "I am equipped, anointed, and prepared for what is mine." These substitutions are not affirmations. They are corrections. They are declarations that cancel the spell before it becomes substance. You cannot afford to leave your thoughts unchecked. They do not float. They build. And if you don't choose what they build, they will repeat what was planted long ago by family, by culture, by fear. But you are no longer repeating. You are reversing. You are no longer echoing old voices. You are rewriting them. This is your power. This is the turning point. From this day forward, you become the listener of your mind. You become the guard of your temple. And every time fear knocks, you answer with the opposite. You say, "I am no longer afraid of thoughts. I transform them." "My mind does not wander," it declares. "I do not wait for peace. I speak it into the silence." Speak these substitutions like breath, not once, but every time, every hour. Every whisper of worry must be met with a louder law, because the world within becomes the world without. If your thoughts are casual, your life will be chaotic. If your thoughts are sacred, your life will be aligned. This is not about pretending. This is not about forcing. This is about choosing what you allow to be true. And truth, divine truth, is never fear. It is never lack. It is never confusion. Truth is clarity. Truth is provision. Truth is immediate alignment with all that you already are. So when the voice of limitation says, "You'll never get out of this," you say, "My way is made. Even now, the path is opening." When the voice says, "You've made too many mistakes," you say, "My past is powerless. Only law creates my future." When the voice says, "Nothing is changing," you say, "Everything is changing because my word has changed." You speak not because you see. You speak because you command what must be seen. This is the law of substitution. Catch the lie. Cancel the sentence, speak the opposite, and do not stop until your bones believe it. Let your nervous system realign with divine certainty. Let your tongue refuse to repeat fear. Let your vibration become so trained, so precise, so clean that doubt cannot land because there is no landing place left. You are now a gatekeeper of your atmosphere. You are a watcher of words. You are a master of reversal. And if you fail once, if the fear slips in, if the old thought repeats, you do not spiral. You substitute again. You say, "I cancel that command. It is void. It holds no power." And then you speak the new one, with more fire, with more focus, with more love. Because love is the highest substitution. It is the final override, the voice that ends all fear. You are not behind, you are not late, you are not broken. You are just learning how powerful you've always been. So speak like it, think like it. Catch every sentence that does not match your vision and substitute it like your life depends on it. Because it does. You are not a servant of your thoughts. You are their sovereign. You are not the echo. You are the origin. Say, "I substitute fear with law. I substitute doubt with declaration. I substitute confusion with clarity." And let that substitution become your new reality, instantly, repeatedly, unshakably, because now that you've replaced fear, It is time to speak with sacred boldness. The word must not whisper. It must rule. You declared it. You spoke it. You believed it. And yet, days passed, and nothing seemed to move. No doors opened. No answers came. The silence deepened. And you wondered, did I do something wrong? Did I miss a line? Did I not believe hard enough? But what if I told you this silence is not absence? It is arrangement. Because delay is not denial. It is divine orchestration. And if you panic in the pause, you break the very thing that's being built for you. You are not being ignored. You are being prepared to receive in fullness, not fragments. But preparation isn't always visible. Alignment isn't always loud. The seed does not scream when it breaks open. The roots do not sing as they grow deeper. But the tree is coming, and the soil knows. So does the law. There is a realm where form is slower than frequency, where vibration speaks now, but reality walks in gently. Not to punish, but to protect. To preserve the order of what must arrive in wholeness. And if it came too soon, before your word was stable, before your tone was sealed, before your fear was silenced, you would reject it. You would ruin it. You would call it coincidence and collapse the blessing. So, the law waits. Not from cruelty, from mercy. Because what is forming is too sacred to arrive half-baked, too large to rest on shaky faith. And the moment you stop doubting delay, you start walking in alignment. Because delay is not time's mistake. It is your mirror. It shows you where your voice still flinches. It reveals whether your boldness was a performance or a posture. Do you still speak it when the silence grows louder? Do you still bless when the vision seems far? Do you still call it done when nothing agrees with you, except the law? This is the discipline of invisible delay, to keep your voice clean when your reality is cluttered. To say, I do not measure truth by what I see. I measure it by what I spoke. To say, my miracle is not late, it is precise. To say, the door is already open and I'm walking through it in trust. Because everything responds to that kind of clarity. Even time, even space, even people you've never met begin to move drawn by the magnet of your unwavering tone. But the moment you change your speech to match the weight, you rewrite the law. You say, I guess it wasn't meant to be, and the law obeys. You say, maybe I got it wrong, and the law agrees. You say, it's taking too long. And time stretches to match your words. Delay only becomes suffering when your voice turns against your vision. But if your voice stays clean, if your declaration does not collapse, then even delay bends to serve you. Even slowness becomes sacred. Even silence becomes symphony. So praise in the pause. Bless while waiting. Smile when nothing appears. Not because you're pretending, but because you know the invisible is moving exactly on time. Let the law hear you say, I walk as if it has already arrived. I treat the delay as confirmation, not confusion. I do not beg the law. I align with it and I wait with grace. This is not passivity. This is mastery. Because masters don't just declare. They hold their declaration without shaking. You are not just a voice, you are a vessel. And the vessel must stay open until delivery is complete. Don't seal it with doubt. Don't interrupt with questions. Don't contaminate the field with commentary from fear. You have already spoken. Let it be done. And when fear rises in the delay, you don't negotiate. You return to the rhythm of certainty. You say, it is already on the way. It is unfolding even now. I am not waiting. I am receiving in invisible form. Because the invisible is the truth. The seen is the echo. The world cannot show you what you haven't held first in word and energy. So hold. Not with tension, but with trust. There is nothing wrong with the timeline. There is nothing broken in the delivery. There is only refining. There is only arrangement. There is only you being shaped to match the size of what you've already declared. The question is not, why is it taking so long? The question is, will I remain in dominion while it completes? And if the answer is yes, then nothing is out of order. Nothing is being withheld. Nothing is off track. Say this now, and say it with peace. I do not ask when. I bless what is already mine. I do not lose power in the pause. I rise inside it. I do not need to see it to honor it. Because delay is not distance. It is delivery in disguise. And every moment you stay aligned, the form comes closer. The door swings wider. The field responds faster. Not because you forced it, but because you didn't fold. And yet, even delay obeys you if your inner voice is clean. But what if the sabotage is inside you? You declared the word. You held through the delay. You believed. You waited. You praised. But something still resisted. Not outside, inside. A quiet voice. Not loud, but heavy. Not screaming, but constant. The voice that says, I don't deserve this. Or worse, if I receive it, I'll lose it. This is inner sabotage, and it is the final wall between you and the wealth already circling you. Because the truth is simple. You cannot receive what you secretly resent. You cannot hold what you quietly feel unworthy of. You cannot rise while dragging the weight of shame behind your smile. Most people don't know they've made a vow, but they have. A vow to suffer, a vow to struggle, a vow to prove their value through exhaustion. And vows are spiritual contracts. They cannot be broken by effort, only by awareness, only by reversal, only by voice. You didn't write the vow with a pen, you wrote it with pain, with moments you never processed, with beliefs passed down like curses from family, from religion, from fear. Somewhere along the way, you learned that money was a reward, not a right. You learned that ease was suspicious, that wealth meant guilt, that joy had to be earned through years of emotional labor. And so when wealth approached, you turned your body into a wall. You didn't know you were doing it, but you did. You rejected ease because it didn't match your nervous system. You delayed success because it made you feel like a fraud. You pushed away provision because a part of you still believed you had to suffer first. This is inner sabotage, and it is louder than your prayers, because the universe does not listen to what you beg for. It listens to what you believe you deserve. And if you carry guilt, you will cancel the blessing. If you carry shame, you will drop the gift the moment it arrives. If you carry resentment toward others who have more, you will silently instruct the law to never give it to you. You cannot envy wealth and expect to embody it. You cannot hate the rich and expect to join them. You cannot reject the ease of others and expect it to find you. Because the law does not serve two masters, and it hears contradiction as cancellation. So now, we go deeper. You must uproot what you never said out loud. The hidden feelings, the guilt you swallowed, the beliefs you never questioned, the punishment you thought you had to pay just to feel worthy of being blessed. Let it rise now. All the times you felt too broken to be chosen. All the moments you saw money and felt jealousy before joy. All the times you failed and used those failures as evidence that you should settle for less. Let it rise. Because what you cannot face will always block your flow. You don't need to heal everything tonight. But you must speak what has been hiding. Bring it into the open. Say, I see the sabotage, and I no longer agree with it. I release the guilt I inherited. It is not mine to carry. I do not have to suffer to receive. I am allowed to feel joy without punishment. This is how you begin. This is how the war inside ends. You forgive yourself not because of weakness, but because you are done being at war with your own soul. You say, I am not what I did. I am what I declare now. I am not my old vows. I am a new voice. Even now, as you read this, something inside you is softening. Somewhere, a silent contract is breaking. A generational belief is dissolving. A vow of scarcity is being replaced by ease. Let it happen. You were never meant to trade joy for worth. You were never meant to prove yourself through pain. You were never meant to earn love, peace, or money through spiritual suffering. Those were lies. Well-wrapped lies. Sacred-sounding lies. But lies nonetheless. The truth is this. You are worthy of wealth simply because you exist. You are worthy of provision not because you've done enough, but because your word aligns. You are worthy of ease because struggle is not your birthright. Truth is. And truth never asks you to suffer to feel sacred. It asks you to receive as a sacred act. Say this now. Let it be your reversal. I do not reject what I prayed for. I do not sabotage what I summoned. I am safe to hold the blessing without guilt, without loss, without punishment. You do not have to trade peace for wealth. You do not have to trade humility for power. You do not have to sacrifice joy to be spiritual. That was the old agreement, and it no longer applies. You were taught that if you had too much, someone else would suffer. That if you rose too high, you'd be torn down. That if money came easily, it must be wrong. But that belief is not spiritual. It is ancestral scarcity, wrapped in holy language. And you are the one chosen to break it. You don't need to pass the test again. You've already been through enough. You don't need to lose more to learn. The lesson is over. The karma is closed. The punishment is paid. Now you receive. And if the voice says, "But who am I to have this much?" you answer, I am the one who remembered the law. I am the one who finally stopped arguing with my own abundance. I am the one who broke the cycle and ended the guilt. Because guilt is not a spiritual offering. It is a delay mechanism, a block, a static field that keeps miracles from landing. You were never meant to feel bad about wanting more. You were never meant to suffer to prove you're grateful. Gratitude is not self-abandonment. It is praise. It is expansion. It is the sound of a soul that knows more is always allowed. So let this be your substitution when guilt tries to return. I do not reject ease. I embody it. I do not owe pain to anyone. I owe alignment to the law. I do not punish myself for wanting more. I expand to hold it. You must stop apologizing for your abundance. Stop whispering your desires. Stop shrinking your vision to make others feel safe. Because every time you play small to avoid guilt, you delay the very miracle that was meant to teach others what is possible. The law does not bless guilt. It blesses clarity, so get clear. You are allowed to rise without dragging shame behind you. You are allowed to receive without losing what matters. You are allowed to be powerful, visible, radiant without consequence. You are no longer the vessel of punishment. You are the portal of permission. Say, I give myself divine permission to succeed, without sabotage, without guilt, without shame. Say, I am no longer confused about my worth. It is not up for debate. It is sealed by law. And every time an old emotion tries to climb back in, you don't collapse. You don't spiral. You don't cancel the flow. You say, that was the old me, the one who needed to suffer to feel spiritual. The one who couldn't receive without also bleeding. The one who hid her power to make others comfortable. And you bless that old self, but you do not keep her. You let her go. She was only trying to survive. But now, you are more than safe. You are sacred. And safety is no longer your ceiling. It is your floor. You no longer manifest from wounds. You manifest from wholeness. You no longer command from emptiness. You command from radiance. You no longer whisper prayers from fear. You speak declarations from power. This is the moment when sabotage ends. This is where your inner voice stops swinging between guilt and glory and becomes still, steady, strong enough to hold everything you called in, because now you are clean enough to receive. Not perfect, not flawless, not finished, just clean. Of guilt, of shame, of inner contradiction, of emotional noise. You are clean in tone, clear in command, aligned in frequency. And so you are ready. Ready to receive, before proof, before numbers, before results, before applause. Because the law does not wait for evidence. It responds to expectancy. It responds to vibration. It responds to the one who acts as if the answer is already here. You've spoken the word. You've held through delay. You've cleared the sabotage. And now, you arrive at the final discipline of faith. Receiving without proof. This is not fantasy. This is not delusion. This is the exact alignment that turns vibration into form. Because the law does not respond to evidence. It creates it. And those who understand this do not wait for signs. They become them. They do not wait for confirmation. They become confirmation. They walk through life as if the blessing has already landed. And because they walk like that, it does. You've been taught to pray with hope, to affirm with fingers crossed, to speak with gentle longing. But longing is not alignment. It is a spell of postponement. Hope is not the frequency of wealth. Knowing is. And knowing has a posture. Knowing has a sound. Knowing has a behavior that cannot be faked. When you know it's yours, you stop asking. You stop begging. You stop scanning the horizon for signs of movement. You start preparing the space. You set the table. You rearrange your schedule. You shift your posture. You raise your standard, not because you see it yet, but because you know it's already on the way. And the moment you behave like it's done, it begins to take shape. This is the law of receiving before proof. The divine art of living as if what you've spoken is already true. This is how kings walk. This is how queens rise. This is how divine beings move not from craving, but from command. And when command is present, desperation dies. You are no longer the seeker. You are the channel. You are the confirmation that invisible wealth has already arrived through you. Say it now. I no longer wait to see it. I see it within me. I no longer wait to feel secure. I walk as already held. I no longer ask if I'm worthy. I receive because I am aligned. This is not spiritual pretending. It is sacred precision. Because spiritual wealth responds only to expectancy. It does not show up to prove a point. It shows up where it is welcomed, where it is believed, where it is spoken of in present tense. Let this be your correction. Stop rehearsing what you lack. Start honoring what is already yours. You do not say, one day, I'll get there. You say, it is unfolding through me now. You do not say, I just need a little more time. You say, time obeys my alignment, and I am in sync. You do not say, maybe when I'm more healed, it will arrive. You say, I receive now, even as I heal, because the healing is the receiving. This is how wealth moves, not to those who try hard, not to those who deserve it, but to those who live like it already belongs to them. Your job is no longer to chase evidence. Your job is to maintain frequency, to move like someone who already has it. Because when you act like it's here, when you prepare like it's coming, when you think like it's done, you become a magnet to all things in alignment. Say this every morning. I receive before results. I embody abundance before it's visible. My field is open, and supply already knows my name. You do not need to control the how. You only need to hold the truth. And truth is not a future promise. It is a present presence. It lives here, now, inside your voice, inside your tone, inside the posture of your spirit. So drop the question, when will it happen? The moment you ask that, you stepped out of receiving. Instead, say, it is happening now. And return to the state of already full, already blessed, already seen, already chosen. And yes, you may still have bills in front of you. Yes, you may still have numbers that don't match your vision. But the numbers are not your master. They are your echo, and echo always lags behind the sound. You do not wait for the echo to prove the voice. You speak the voice again and again until the echo catches up. You don't stop believing because you don't see it. You hold the vibration until the world has no choice but to reflect it. And if the delay stretches longer than you expected, you do not interpret that as absence. You do not spiral. You do not drop your energy to match the noise. You stay. You stay as the one who already has it. You stay in praise. You stay in presence. You stay in expectancy. Because expectancy is the field where miracles take shape. You expect not with arrogance, but with reverence. You treat your own word as if it cannot fail, and because of that, it doesn't. You treat your own word as law because it is. You no longer say, I hope the universe shows me. You say, the universe already moved, and now I move with it. This is what faith looks like in its purest form. It is not emotional hype. It is emotional steadiness. It is the sacred choice to embody the outcome before a single result arrives. That is your new discipline. To praise before proof. To walk in provision while your bank balance catches up. To give thanks before anything visible changes. Because gratitude is not a reaction. It is the most magnetic energy you can emit. And when it becomes your normal abundance, rushes to meet it. So when you wake up and nothing has shifted yet, you still say, I bless this day as one already filled with wealth. You say, my provision is here, and I expect to see glimpses of it now. You say, I walk into this moment as someone already answered. And because you do, you are. The old you would wait for permission, would wait for circumstances, would wait for evidence. But the new you, the real you, commands the evidence into form by living as if it already exists. And the law sees this. The law honors this. The law accelerates for this. You are no longer a servant of time. You are no longer watching the clock, waiting for something to change so you can feel better. You feel better now, and time must match it. You feel full now, and form must follow. You are no longer begging energy to make a move. You are moving as energy. You are the blessing embodied, the answered prayer in flesh, the vibration of fulfillment before it touches your hand. And when the doubt tries to whisper again, when the mind says, but nothing's here yet, you answer, I am not waiting. I am aligning. I am not lacking. I am preparing. I am not doubting. I am receiving. Because even when nothing appears different, everything is. You changed your posture. You cleaned your tone. You silenced sabotage. You reversed the lie. You stopped needing to be proven right and started living as if the law already moved. And that is the true sign. Not the car, not the number, not the email. You are the sign. You are the proof. You are the new frequency walking through an old world that must now bend to match your word. So walk through the hallway of delay like it is already your palace. Sit with the silence as if it is filled with invisible gifts. Stand in the middle of confusion with a knowing smile that says, "It's already done, and I'm just enjoying the becoming." That is your strength now. That is your wealth. To feel it before it forms, to speak it before it shows, to receive it before it arrives. And once you do this, there is only one shift left. You've received without proof. Now, you must learn to command reality itself. You will drift, even now. Even after the declaration, even after the alignment, even after the clarity, you will drift. A thought will pull you, a number will shake you, a conversation will trigger the old self. And without realizing it, your frequency will dip, your tone will soften, your power will wobble. But the drift is not the problem. The delay is. You were not called to be perfect. You were called to be immediate. Immediate in your return. Immediate in your realignment. Immediate in your authority. Because this is spiritual maturity. Not the absence of fear, but the speed of return. You don't wait to feel ready. You don't wait to feel spiritual again. You don't wait for the mood to shift. You realign, now. Like brushing your teeth, you don't debate it. You don't delay it. You don't need to justify why they got dirty. You just clean, every day, without question. And so it is with your vibration. You speak yourself back. You command yourself forward. You pull your energy back into truth the moment you feel the drift. Because spiritual power is not a constant high. It is a constant return. And the faster you return, the stronger you become. The more fiercely you rise, the less control fear has. Say it now. I do not collapse. I return. I do not spiral. I realign. I do not delay my power. I reclaim it now. You've spent years spiraling, years letting one bad moment steal the whole day. One emotion collapse the whole belief. One old pattern drown the new vision. No more. The second you notice the lie, you speak the law. The second you feel the fear, you interrupt it. The second you hear the doubt, you declare the opposite. Not when you feel like it. Not when it's convenient. Not when you're calm. You do it now. You do it mid-chaos. You do it while trembling. You do it with tears in your throat and a sword in your word. Because power is not emotion. It is choice. You don't have to feel powerful to be powerful. You just have to decide. And deciding becomes a habit, a spiritual muscle, a sacred reflex, like returning to your breath, like returning to the mirror, like returning to center again and again, until the return becomes natural, effortless, instant. This is the law of immediate realignment, and it is the end of delay. Because delay is how the old you stayed alive. Delay is how fear made its home in you. Delay is how you postponed miracles that were already knocking. But now, you delay nothing. You explain nothing. You collapse for no one. You return. Even if it's 10 times in one day. Even if you drift while realigning. Even if the old voice still whispers. You return anyway. Because the one who returns always wins. The one who returns becomes immune to the storm. Because the storm no longer matters when the center is always within reach. And when the storm rises, you don't fight it. You don't analyze it. You don't make it mean anything. You just speak. I do not belong to this thought. I do not serve this vibration. I remember who I am, and I return to the law. You speak until the silence obeys. You speak until the emotion shifts. You speak until the temperature of your being rises again. You don't sit in the drift. You don't entertain it. You don't dress it up in spiritual language. You command yourself home. You are no longer a spiritual wanderer. You are the authority now. You are the governor of your field. You are the guardian of your vibration. This is what no one told you. Mastery isn't perfection. It's pattern recognition and rapid return. Catch it, call it out, clear it, return, again, and again, and again, until it becomes who you are. And soon, you'll drift less. You'll return faster. You'll feel the lie coming before it even lands. And you'll stand at the door of your own spirit with a sword in your smile and say, "Number not here, not now, not me." Because the one who can return on command can never be defeated. And when others collapse, you won't. When others spiral, you'll breathe. When others call it failure, you'll call it feedback. Not because you're better, but because you trained, you returned, and return became rhythm. Your spiritual power is not in how high you go, but in how fast you rise when you fall. That is the difference between the seeker and the sovereign. The seeker waits for alignment to come back. The sovereign summons it. The seeker asks for help. The sovereign gives the command. The seeker delays. The sovereign declares. And that declaration shifts the entire atmosphere. You say, "I reclaim my alignment now. I do not require evidence to return. I do not need to feel good to choose truth. I do not entertain stories that contradict my word." Your new rule is this: you never delay your return. You never wait until morning. You never carry spiritual garbage into a new hour. You stop, you speak, you shift, and if you drift again, you return again. Not in shame, in power, in practice, in honor. Because the moment you return, the old pattern is broken. The spell is interrupted. The timeline shifts. You are not starting over. You are accelerating. This is how you rise faster than time. This is how you collapse the need for recovery. This is how you command your entire field to stay clean, clear, divinely tuned. You may still have thoughts that don't belong to you, but they no longer lead you. You lead yourself back to center. You no longer give the lie a microphone. You speak over it. You speak through it. You speak until it cannot speak anymore. And when the fear tries to return, when it says, "It's not working. This is taking too long. You're not doing enough." You don't analyze. You don't argue. You speak. My word is working even when I can't see it. Delay does not move me. I stay aligned. I am doing exactly what is required. Nothing more, nothing less. I return to the law now, fully, instantly, with power. This is the new standard. You don't delay miracles with mood. You don't extend lack by waiting for perfect peace. You make the shift, right where you are. You breathe once, you speak twice, you return. And the law hears it. And the field shifts. And the blessing moves again. Because the law doesn't need your emotion. It needs your clarity. And clarity is a choice, not a feeling. You choose to return. Even in the middle of fear. Even in the middle of fatigue. Even in the middle of the lie. And when you return fast enough, often enough, boldly enough, you become untouchable. You are no longer ruled by past momentum. You are no longer dragged by old beliefs. You are no longer repeating anything. You are commanding. You are guiding. You are setting the tone with every breath. No more guilt. No more delay. No more spiraling down just because one thought got in. You are fierce now. You are clean now. You are instant now. Say it with finality. I am the return. I am the alignment. I am the law. And now, you are no longer repeating the lie. You are speaking law. You are the law. You were told that wealth must be earned, that money is a reward. That abundance comes only after sacrifice, after hard work, after years of proving your worth. But that teaching was wrong. Wealth is not something you earn. It is something you inherit. Not through lineage, not through status, but through alignment. You do not work for it. You remember it. You receive it. You collect it. Because it was always yours. You are not applying for permission. You are claiming what already belongs to you. This is the shift that ends the chase. This is the law of inherited wealth. The law that rewrites the entire game. You are not here to convince the world to pay you. You are not here to squeeze your value into a system that forgot its soul. You are not here to barter your joy for security. You are here to walk as the one who already owns the vault. You are not a worker in the field. You are the heir to the field. You are not hoping the gates will open. You are the reason they do. The divine never created you to hustle for survival. The divine designed you to receive from identity, to know who you are, and let all things be added unto you through that knowing. When you believe you must earn it, you live in delay. When you believe you must prove it, you stay in tension. When you believe you must deserve it, you never feel ready. But when you remember, I am the heir, everything changes. You speak differently. You walk differently. You stop apologizing for wanting more. You stop shrinking in rooms that can't contain you. You stop fearing overflow, because now you understand it was never about being good enough. It was about being aligned with your original inheritance. This wealth, this provision, this favor, this divine ease, it was written into your code before you took your first breath. And the only thing that ever blocked it was the belief that you had to earn it. But you are not here to earn. You are here to collect, to receive from a field already prepared, to gather what has always been yours, but was waiting for you to stop disqualifying yourself. You are the heir. You do not beg for the vault. You hold the key. Say it now, and let it echo through every layer of your being. I am not applying for wealth. I am collecting what's mine. I do not compete. I inherit. I do not chase. I receive. You were not meant to shrink around money. You were meant to govern it. Not from greed, but from divine identity. You are not money's servant. You are its shepherd. You are not money's pursuer. You are its anchor. It flows to you, rests with you, expands through you, because you know who you are. This is the true wealth mindset. Not hustle, not struggle, but rightful claim. You don't wake up and wonder if you'll be supported. You expect to be. You don't ask if you're worthy. You assume it. You don't hope it arrives. You prepare for it. Because heirs don't ask if. They ask where. They don't wait. They walk. They don't beg. They bless. They don't apologize for having. They overflow. You were not called to feel guilty for what's yours. You were called to shine so brightly that others remember what's theirs too. You are not here to take from anyone. You are here to awaken everyone. Your wealth is not a threat. It is a signal that alignment is real. When you walk like the heir, you stop worrying about lack. You stop worshipping the paycheck. You stop checking your worth against the numbers. Because numbers no longer define you, they reflect you. They mirror your level of inheritance, accepted, not achieved. Let the old pattern dissolve now. The one that said you had to perform. The one that said you had to suffer. The one that said you had to wait your turn. It's your turn now, because it was always yours. You do not need to hustle for what heaven already gave you. You only need to remember and receive. Say it again. I am the heir. I do not try. I take. I do not earn. I inherit. And now, as heir, you must test the vault. There is a moment when the asking must end. A moment when every prayer, every affirmation, every command, every ritual, every rehearsal must give way to one word. yes. Not as hope, not as question, but as acceptance, as arrival, as finality. Yes is the seal. Yes is the sound of power realized. Yes is the breath of alignment landing in form. You've reversed the lie. You've broken the delay. You've silenced sabotage. You've received before proof. Now, you say yes. This is the law of the final yes, the gate, that only opens when there is no more wobble, no more flinch, no more conditions, just the sovereign nod of a soul that knows it is done because I said so. Not someday, not after one more lesson, not once you feel more spiritual. Now, yes, I am ready. Yes, I am the channel. Yes, it is done. And with that yes, you stop looking for the door, because you are the door. You stop waiting for wealth, because it's already trying to meet you at the level of your acceptance. This yes is not casual. It is not soft. It is not performance. It is a covenant, a crossing, a sacred exhale that says, I will no longer argue with abundance. I will no longer delay what already belongs to me. I will no longer pretend I'm not ready. Because the truth is, you were always ready. The delay wasn't in the law. It was in your answer. Your inner yes was still conditional, still cautious, still watching the world for signs of approval. But now you know there is no outer approval coming. There is no final confirmation. There is no permission slip. Only your yes. Only your decision to become the match to what you've already declared. Say it now and mean it. Yes, I receive. Yes, I carry the power. Yes, I allow it all to land. This, yes, is the end of debate, the end of delay, the end of pretending there's still something else to fix. The end of waiting for signs that have been circling you for years. You've seen enough. You've heard enough. You've healed enough. Now you say it. Without negotiation, without backup plans, without fear. Because until you say yes with your entire being, you are still rejecting the very thing you say you're calling in. You can't summon and resist at the same time. You can't declare and doubt in the same breath. The law needs your yes, your full yes, your final yes, not yes, but, not yes, when, not yes, if, just yes. And when that yes echoes through your system, when your energy finally stops, hesitating, the shift is instant. The vault opens. The field responds. The gates unhinge. Not because you finally earned it, but because you finally stopped arguing with it. You accepted your place. You stepped into your role. You stopped being a visitor and became the vessel. This is the moment when the seeker dies and the speaker stands. This is where the delay ends, not by force, but by surrender. Not surrender as giving up, but surrender as giving in to the truth that's been waiting for your full permission to arrive. And now, you've given it. You've released the last resistance. You've said the final word. You've agreed to carry what is yours without guilt, without waiting, without condition. And everything changes now. You've asked enough. You've waited long enough. You've knocked, begged, learned, healed, reversed, commanded, and returned. There is nothing left to earn. There is nothing left to seek. There is only this: embodiment. Not knowledge, not effort, not theory, embodiment. The moment you stop reciting the law and start becoming it, this is where you no longer say the words, you are the word. You no longer use the power, you walk as it. No more trying, no more hoping, no more chasing vibration like it's outside you. You are the vibration. You are the echo and the source. You are the prayer and the answer. You are the mirror and the mold. Now you are the law. You don't wake up wondering how to speak anymore. Your tone is already tuned. You don't check the outer world for signs. The outer world checks you for alignment. You don't shrink when lack enters the room. You shift the atmosphere. You don't study the principle of wealth. You breathe it. You move with it. You command it without needing to explain how. This is the end of spiritual performance. This is the end of manifestation rituals done out of fear. This is the end of waiting for reality to confirm what your soul already knows. Now, you are the confirmation. Now, you walk into a room and energy changes. Now, you speak once and it is done. Not because you pushed hard enough, but because you stood still long enough in truth. You didn't earn this power. You remembered it. And now it wraps around you like light. It doesn't shake. It doesn't fade. It doesn't depend on mood or motivation. It is sealed in you. You walk through your day as if every moment bends toward blessing, because it does. You walk through decisions with clarity, not pressure, because you trust your knowing. You speak with rhythm that turns air into architecture. You do not quote scripture. You are the scripture. You do not request heaven. You live as the proof it exists. Here, in you, as you, and if fear returns, it cannot land. You are too clean, too rooted, too clear in your yes. If doubt whispers, it vanishes on contact. Your field is no longer available for confusion. Your life is no longer fertile ground for contradiction. You are not on the journey. You are the arrival. You are no longer becoming. You are being. No longer decoding how wealth flows. You are the current it flows through. No longer looking for the code. You are the key. No longer knocking at the door. You are the door. And because you are the door, there is no more waiting. No more searching. No more hoping something will open. Everything opens through you now. Not through pressure. Through presence. Not through fear. Through frequency. You are the passageway. You are the gate. You are the permission and the pathway. And everything you spoke in the silence now has no choice but to rise in form. You are the cause now, not the effect. You are the first sound, not the echo. You are the command, not the question. And the world has already begun to respond. Even if you cannot see it yet, you feel it. The inner stillness, the quiet certainty, the deep knowing that nothing can be taken from you because nothing is outside you anymore. You are no longer asking life to give. You are offering life what it never had until you remembered who you were. You are the wealth. You are the power. You are the sacred signal that tells the unseen. It is safe to arrive now. It is safe to bless now. It is safe to pour. You are the yes that opened the vault. You are the alignment that turned time. You are the fire that burned away every old belief and revealed the law pure, clean, unshakable. You don't return to the old way now. You don't lower your tone. You don't ask what if. You bless. You rise. You move forward. And when you walk into tomorrow, you walk as the law walks, calm, sacred, unfazed. You no longer waver. You no longer tremble. You no longer negotiate with fear like it has something real to say. You walk as the one who no longer seeks the law, because now you are the law. Final commandment spoken softly. You are not waiting for the door. You are the door. You are not speaking the law. You are the voice it obeys. You are not chasing wealth. You are the vibration it seeks.